Okay, shalom, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, the elect of Yahweh Shai. Kal Halalim, Wahawad, La Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach, Wamalak Yahweh Shai, Baha Rakha Kodash. Double honor to the apostles of the great millstone, alongside the elders and bishops that rule well through the Spirit. Enough respect, salutations to the Akim pushing this gospel the world over. To you few sisters who are doing the right thing. To you I say shalom, Wa Adawan Ratazah, which means Lord willing. So Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. So it's going to touch on these two verses in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, okay, verses 9 through 10. Okay, so verse 9 reads, Rejoice, O young man. Alright, and this could apply to a young woman as well. Okay, so rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart, and in the sight of thine eyes. But know thou that for all these things Yahweh will bring thee into judgment. Okay, so King Solomon is speaking to the young man and the young woman in their youth. All right, because typically when you're young you tend to commit a lot of sin, a lot of folly, because you're not really that experienced in life. You haven't really gone through as many experiences as an older person would. Okay, and the word experience literally means to try out. Okay, all right, and there's a popular phrase in the world, young and dumb. Okay, you may have heard that in the world. And when you very young, you tend to do silly and unnecessary things. All right, the youth, they like to do things the way they see fit, live life how they want to, by their standards that they establish. They say stuff like, I'm doing what makes me feel happy. All right, so King Solomon is saying, if you do that, then the Most High will bring judgment. All right, but that's what the world fails to understand. So like here, that's what the world fails to understand. That's what people fail to understand. The majority of them. All right, people are much older. They don't always guide and tell the youth the right thing. All right, when you do things your way, from your perspective, then you're gonna go off. All right, and do all manner of wickedness. All right, and that's not the way to go about life. Okay, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai gave us, all right, a righteous way to live, a way to go about things. All right, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. Okay, that's what we should follow. All right, not lean on our own understanding. All right, let's get Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord Yahweh with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. Okay, because Jake is just walking around going after their own hearts and fulfilling their own lustful desires, man. They're walking in their own imaginations. They're not obeying the law. They don't even want anything to do with the Most High. So guess what? The Most High will judge them for their wickedness and righteous. And that's righteous and rightfully so. Alright, most of our people don't even want anything to do with the Bible, man. Again, they just want to establish their own righteousness, which leads them to follow in the path of folly. Okay, they come up with vain and foolish lifestyles to practice and follow the lust of this world. All right, our people, right, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, as well as the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad across the world, whose seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to their fathers. All right, you are the children of Israel. Okay, that's why repentance is a must. Okay. All right, and the majority of our people, okay, they're in all sorts of mad ideologies. All right, and then when the judgment comes from Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, people say, oh, I can't believe that happened to that young man or that young woman. All right, and the whole time they were being wicked. This reminds me of this precept. bear with me. Romans 2:11. For there is no respect of persons with Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Okay. Alright. So judgment can come to anyone at any time, despite your age, your position in this world, your social economic status, whether you're a child, woman, man, elderly. You're not exempt from the judgment of the Most High. Okay. So it doesn't matter how good, alright, a person may think that they are, or have been, or tried to be. Okay. Again, no one can escape the hands of the Most High. Okay. And other people believe that, just because a person has done so, so much good in their eyes, that to them it's like they're a god and worship them. Okay. When really it was a wicked individual. Instead of that person trying to, please the Most High, power Yahweh, they chase the God of this world. Right, Jake really don't even know the Lord, man. They'll call him God and Jesus, but that ain't according to the true knowledge of the Bible. Alright? Alright? So in your youth, you tend to live in folly. That's why King Solomon was like, okay, do what you want to do then, but the Lord will judge you at the end of the day. Alright? And Yahushua was King Solomon in his past incarnation. If you are willing to accept it, then accept it. But we only know the elect of the nation of Israel will. Let's go back to Ecclesiastes 11 and read verse 9 again. Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart, and in the sight of thine eyes. But know thou that for all these things Yahweh will bring thee into judgment. Verse 10. Therefore remove sorrow from thy heart, and put away evil from thy flesh, for childhood and youth are vanity. Okay. So King Solomon was basically saying, flee youthful lust, don't give in and fall victim to that childish behavior, alright, that childish mentality, because youth is vanity, alright, especially the youth today in these times, alright, majority of these, young people are rebellious, alright, this is a wicked generation, alright, that open quote fun end quote spirit is not of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and if you continue to live like that, well, because it's vanity and you're rebellious, and then ultimately judgment will come from the Lord. Alright, especially when you're around worldly people, you tend to hear the phrases, I want to live my best life, that YOLO spirit, I'm going to live my own truth the way I want. Okay, then the Most High will eventually judge you. Alright, and that's talking to our people, man. To hell with you heathens and Esau. Okay. Alright, so, King Solomon is saying the consequences for your actions, man. The Most High is not to be deceived, okay? The Lord sees all. Alright, he's not a pushover. He's not a joke. The Most High puts people to death every day. And that's what most people don't understand. People, and even our people, they'll even say that, God doesn't make mistakes. Which they're right. He doesn't make mistakes. Alright? He judged that wicked person for being abominable by putting them to death. Alright? Alright. So there is judgment for your actions. And that's what King Solomon was saying. So the warning was and is given out. Alright, every day. There's no excuse, no cloak for your sin. So I'm just going to end that lesson there. Lord willing, it was edifying. I pray that this was edifying and uplifting and encouraging to the elect of the nation of Yasha Allah. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone. In closing, I'd like to give all praise, glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Till next time, Lord willing, we got next. Kwame Yasharala, Ababa Ball, Shalom to the elect. Upwards and onwards, Shalom.